Let's have it right. Up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Big up to every single one of you live and locked in. Up. Everyone is doing well winning live. First and foremost, I want you all to smash to piece that like button. If you haven't smashed it, smash it right now. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so. We've got the notification bell ding dong. Let's have it right so you know when we go live. And we've got the Minerals FC Ultras membership down below in the description. Salute to all the Minerals FC Ultras. Salute to our Chelsea old boys. We see things they'll never see. And salute to the no surrender mentality. So we're going to get straight into it. Some breaking news across the board, really. Let's get straight into it then, shall we? The Ornstein. Let's call him the Ornstein. Pinocchio in human form. It come out via Simon Phillips today that he says Ornstein confirms my report on Chelsea looking for experience finally. He says Chelsea are prepared to bring in over 30s if they are leaders and top players and willing to pay big wages. They wanted Virgil van Dijk. More on this and players unhappy with Maresca from Simon Phillips here. The Simon Phillips that told us, 3 transfer windows ago that the ownership are going to scrap the under 24-year-old policy. Ain't going too well, is it? Let's have it right. In fact, only yesterday, he was saying, imagine spending 1.5 billion, 1.6 billion, not having an experienced squad, not having any experienced players, not having an experienced manager. Yeah, imagine that, mate. You're the one reporting on them. But it came out via Ornstein that Chelsea were interested in Van Dijk. If he was to become a free transfer, that shows there is no rule on only signing over 23-year-old players at Stamford Bridge like some have suggested. Well, Virgil van Dijk ain't come to Chelsea because he signed a contract extension with Liverpool. He would never have come in the first place. There is no way I believe that the Chelsea owners were speaking to Virgil van Dijk. And at the end of the day, this is literally a false narrative pushed out by the Ornstein guru that everyone worships as his word is gospel, to say that this justifies that we are scrapping and we are looking at experienced players when we're not. There was no intention to sign this player. They would never pay over 300 grand a week for an over 30-year-old. Let's have it right. And if that was the case, why are we not making these signings or haven't done in the last 6 transfer windows? Maybe Ornstein can answer that. Yeah? But you can't, because you know it's a fugazi and it's false narrative. He says Chelsea's top priority is a striker, but it was also reported that we have to offload 17 players in order to buy a striker and buy a centre-back. The names he mentions are Delap, Sesko, Ekitike. That's it. That's all he's mentioned. He then says, I think they're looking for impact players. So impact players would suggest we're looking at some sort of experience. So have it right. Well, it's just broken out by Fabrizio Romano, the other Kingpin brand envelope for Blueco. Says Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal will be there for Dean Heinsohn from Bournemouth. All of these clubs will, I am sure, be pushing in the next days and the weeks to agree a deal with Heinsohn's camp. Let's have it right. What experience is that? Is that meant to be an impact signing? I'm just asking for a mate. Ornstein, do you want to let us know? Yeah, I thought not. Waffle merchant. Also, on Liam Delap, Fabrizio Romano says, the idea is Chelsea or Manchester United, but both clubs are waiting on what type of European football they will have. Well, let's have it right, yeah? We're getting linked to Delap again. They are shoehorning Manchester United in Liam Delap. And Liam Delap is basically getting relegated with Ipswich. The Liam Delap, let me run through the stats, yeah? Because all these XG, Paul merchants, all these stat merchants, they love to go by data. This ownership justifies and swears by the data. So let's run through the data and see if the transfer targets that Ornstein has just given us with our strikers and what Fabrizio Romano has given us with the Liam Delap deal and obviously the centre-back deal. Let me read you out the stats for Liam Delap. Now, Liam Delap has, this is a classic, he has 12 goals and 2 assists, right? Victor Osimhen has, let me get it, 28 goals and 5 assists. Victor Gyökeres has 47 goals and 11 assists. And we're not linked to either Victor, bruv. Yeah? Is it Victor Bet? I don't know. Because these lot are gambling, these clowns. The reality is, we're not looking at experience. We're not really looking at data. Because if we were, well, I'll be looking at Victor Osimhen. I'll be looking at Victor Gyökeres. Because at the moment, their number one striker that Enzo Maresca says is the perfect number 9, and I want a carbon copy of Nicholas Jackson. He has 9 goals and 5 assists this season. So, where's the experience? So, can someone explain to me, or can someone explain to Simon Phillips, Andy Ornstein, and his fraudulent daggers? They're blunt as you like, bruv. They're probably plastic. Do they not realise that our 1.5 billion with double-digit interest has already been spent over the last 6 transfer windows? And the fact that the loans are from institutional investors. So the money's spent, which is why we can't sign any elite players or any elite young players. We couldn't even get a Kvaratskhelia. Oh, but he wanted Champions League. But we've got an amazing project. We signed Felix with a project. We got Sancho. We got Enzo Fernandez. We've got all these unbelievable players. We've spent 1.6 billion. And the squad you saw yesterday, the team lineup, was the best team that we have at Chelsea. The best bench we have at Chelsea, bar Wesley Fofana, who's never available anyway. So you tell me, do you trust Ornstein in briefing that we're going to sign impact players? We'll go and get De Bruyne then. Go and sign De Bruyne. He's leaving. Let's get that experience in there. Or what? He only looks to go forward and pass forward. Is Enzo Maresca gonna bench him for passing backwards like Enzo Fernandez? So you can only pass backwards. Or if the goalkeeper boots it out, are you going to bench him? You don't even stand by your business, this gaffer, this fraud, this yes man. So the reality is, right, why is it that Fabrizio Romano is shoehorning and putting Liam Delap and with Chelsea or Manchester United when it is breaking news across Sky and across the Mail Sport that it's been confirmed that Victor Osimhen has agreed personal terms of around 250 grand a week with Manchester United? Oh, what? Did Ornstein forget to mention that there's a 150 grand a week wage cap? But we're going to bring impact players, experienced players that will only take 150 grand a week. Yeah? Long way from Starbucks, old Pinocchio in human form, bruv. Yeah? Pinocchionstein, bruv. Pinocchionstein, bruv. Yeah? Let's have it right. And Fabrizio Romano loves to throw in Man United, so it glorifies a Liam Delap deal. It makes it look like, oh wow, if Man United want him, let's go and poach him off Man United. Let's have it right. Arsenal are looking at Gyökeres, and Berta, their new director, elite director that they brought in from Atletico Madrid, is looking at Victor Gyökeres. All right. At Man United, they're in the gutter, but they're still in a semi-final in the Europa League. They've still got some sort of experience in that team. They've still got a varied wage structure. And they're looking at, well, they're agreeing terms with Victor Osimhen, bruv. Yeah. I had Bushy Laba, who knows Bushy Laba, on my channel, on my stream. And I will put that video in the description for everyone to go and watch why the Chelsea deal didn't happen. And he has direct correspondence with Victor Osimhen, knows him, friend of his. So have it right. So go and watch that and you'll understand why we didn't get Victor Osimhen. And the simple terms is they offered him 150 grand a week. You're not going to sign top quality, ready-made players that have still got resale value, that have still got potential and haven't hit their peak, because strikers hit their peak at a later age. We're buying young strikers, unproven, and well, we're not going to see their peak for years to come. Well, it looks like Jackson's going to go, doesn't it? It looks like they're going to sell Jackson because he doesn't want to play second fiddle to the next striker that comes in. Do you think Liam Delap wants to sit on the bench? And Liam Delap fits the bill. 20 grand a week wages he's on currently. He's going to cost about 30 million cut price. Well, it's a win-win. There's no money to spend. We're a sell-to-buy club. And let's not forget Reece James is on that list, that Trev Chalobah's on that list, that Weddinghall's on that list, that Felix is on that list, Viega's on that list, Sterling, who they're paying half of his wages to send him on loan to Arsenal, is on that list. Yeah? Who else is on that list? Is a Kepa on that list? There's plenty on the list, bruv. These are players they bought. These are their players they bought, mate. Yeah? Nkunku, Mudueke, Jorgensen, Broha, that Fofana they bought in. What's that? Washington, Disasi, Enzo Fernandez. These are all on the list to be sold. To fund what? A striker? All right. So let's land it for what it is then, Shaq. Let's land it. If we go by what Fabrizio says, yeah, everyone loves to go by what Fabrizio says. He's basically a PR agent. That's what he is, yeah. He's always been that, and he always will be that. So let's put him on, shall we? Let's play him.
About Chelsea, I keep receiving many questions, but guys, Chelsea never wanted to pay the release clause, and Chelsea never wanted to pay the salary of Victor Osimhen, which is around 11, 12 million euros net per season. This is almost the salary of Victor Osimhen. This is why for Chelsea, this is way too expensive. It's similar to Olise, it's similar to many cases. This is too expensive. So this is why for Chelsea, this has always been a complicated deal, because they know that this is not something that they want to pay this summer. So Osimhen still wants to leave. At the moment, nothing new with Chelsea because of the financial situation. For Paris Saint-Germain, it depends.
What's the financial situation? The financial situation is it's the Brighton model that dictates. It's the debt taken by Clearlake and Blueco that dictates the wage structure and the age bracket, the age cap. So you're not going to get Victor Osimhen. That's why Man United, 250 grand a week, that's nothing. Yeah? They're looking to put Garnacho in the deal. The same Garnacho that Winstanley Stewart wanted to sign in January, and Goldfish said, if you sign Garnacho, you're gone. You're gone. I recommend you don't sign Garnacho. Well, let's have it right. Maybe they listen to him because he knows the director. He can message two directors. He can message one of the owners to have it right. You know, so maybe he should be a director at Chelsea Football Club, a PR agent. Well, he's a PR agent, but maybe he can get promoted for those extra brown envelopes. The reality is, yeah, we're not looking at signing any experience or elite players. And what experienced general player that's world class is going to accept 150 grand a week? There ain't one. So you're restricting the market. Again, you're looking at a central defender. Now, let's not forget that Ornstein, yeah, let's mug him off, yeah, said to us that Victor Osimhen doesn't suit the style of play of Chelsea, but we went deadline day to sign him. So what are we looking at Victor Osimhen if he doesn't suit the style of Enzo Maresca? I thought we're backing Enzo Maresca. I thought Ornstein told us, and Fabrizio Romano said, that Maresca's fully involved 100% in all the all the deals. Well, let's have it right. He was messaging Victor Osimhen. He was calling Victor Osimhen because the owners want him to do it to entice the player. It's all PR. The PR has killed our football club. The PR is what they throw out. And the reality is Chelsea are done. We're not going to be signing these players. So it's all right for Man United to be linked to these players, but they'll shoehorn Man United with Delap's. This is where we are at Chelsea, unfortunately. We're getting this. And also, the bottom line is they're looking as well, United, at Matheus Cunha, a lovely little player at Wolves. Surprised we're not looking at someone like that, you know. So what can we say with this? Stop buying into the PR. Don't believe what you read. They're lying to you. They always will, because they need time to pay off the debt, to maximise profit, to bring in as many players. We've signed 90 players. We spent 1.6 billion and we've got nothing to show for it. And yesterday's result was down to individual brilliance, not team play, not tactics, not experience, just individual brilliance and a bit of luck. Let's have it right. With a little bit of luck, Blue could get away with it. Yeah, they did. And then Maresca, for that matter, stormed straight down the tunnel because it's done for him. Yeah, I'm convinced he wants a sack. So this is where we are. Why can't we look at what the data tells us and buy a Victor Gyökeres or an Osimhen, because that's what we need? Why can't we sign a Bastoni at the back? Why can't we get a Diogo Costa in goal? Then you're looking at a team to compete in the Champions League, playing Champions League. These lot want to try and get in the Champions League and not be able to compete in it, because it's not about that. It's about generating revenue and money, because there's nothing left. They've spent everything, and there's no more hotels and women's teams to sell to themselves. And there's the car park land. Car park. Is it car? No, Cobham Training Ground. They've got the Cobham Training Ground. That's the last resort. Remember, I'll tell you that. Yeah? Because they've stripped everything. So that's the reality. Ornstein, Fabrizio, Fabrizio Romano, they lie here 24/7. Yeah? And if we're looking at Van Dijk, let's go and get Osimhen then, mate, and Bastoni, if we're going down that path. But Ornstein and Fabrizio don't even put Osimhen or Gyökeres in our links. So what does that tell you? We're shopping at Primark again. What's Delap going to do? Is he going to take us on a title charge with Nicholas Jackson on the bench, or vice versa? Are they going to lead us to title charge? Or do you think Neto, Reece James's balls and Cole Palmer's assists will be what? Converted by who? Oh, I think Victor Osimhen will convert them. I think Victor Gyökeres will, 100%. I think Enizek would convert. Do I think Delap's and all these players? No, I'm not settling for this. The standards are in the mud. It's mediocrity at its finest. So let's have it right. I had to put this out. Let's see what happens with Nottingham Forest and the Spursy. I don't want Spurs winning any games. So I'm not sponsoring Spurs, bruv. Let's have it right. A draw is probably the best result. And all those that were desperate for Spurs to win and cheering on Spurs, you're mugs. I can't stand that. What's that mentality? Don't ever forget that Arsenal could potentially reach a Champions League final and Spurs could reach a Europa League final. And if it comes to that, where two London clubs win European trophies while we're in the state we're in, it's an absolute heart attack FC from me and a meltdown. Trust me. So, yeah, I'm not buying into the PR. And let's have it right. Sky Sports reported about Vivid Seats, so go and have a little butchers on that. You know, it's getting political now. It's going viral now. Let's not forget where it come from, shall we? It all originates from the Minerals FC. So let's have it right. I want all of you to smash the like button, put all your comments down below. Hopefully I'll be back later on tonight and we'll do a stream. So tune in and make sure you go and watch my video with Bushy Laba, where he absolutely mudded the clowns at Chelsea and exposed the true deal of why it collapsed with Victor Osimhen and Chelsea. So you can all understand how we're being run is a circus. And these mid-directors are still in the job. They should be sacked immediately with this manager, because they're all mid and they're all dictated and they're all yes men. And I just want to clear this up. When Stanley and Stewart do not make the decisions, Ekbali and Feliciano do, along with Tout Bowley. Never forget it. Always go for the horse's head, bruv. The snake's head. Let's have it right. So big up to everyone. As always, up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Smash your like, subscribe, put all your comments down below. And no surrender mentality. Win, lose or draw. Blue Co out.